Welcome to This American Principal, a weekly podcast dedicated to telling the real stories of school leadership. If you've ever walked your building before sunrise, if you've ever juggled a parent email, a hallway fight, a fire drill, and maybe even a staff meeting before 10 a.m., then this podcast is for you. Being a principal is one of the hardest and most important jobs in America today. And in this moment when education itself feels under scrutiny, the role of our school leaders has never been more complex or critical.
To me, to abandon the idea that there's strength in diversity is pretty crushing.
That's why this podcast exists, to create a space for the encouragement, humor, and humanity that sustains school leaders, and to share these stories with the wider public so everyone can better understand what it really means to lead a school.
And the teachers, some of my best friends, decide to stage a walkout on the day of the California high school exit exam.
For season 1, I've invited some of my closest colleagues, mentors, and friends. You'll hear from leaders at every stage of their career, from those just stepping into administration to those who are reflecting on decades of service. You'll hear from people who have led in tiny rural schools and sprawling urban campuses, elementary, middle, and high schools, all stages of childhood development.
Ma'am, I can assure you there are no litter boxes in the bathrooms here.
Their experiences are as diverse as the communities they serve, but you'll notice common themes. Trust, how fragile it can be and how much work it takes to build and keep. Community perception, how a school's reputation can either strengthen or shatter the work inside its walls.
I can go to great lengths to support her and to support the building, but at the end of the day, it was still all on her.
The weight leaders carry, the quiet, unseen burden of being responsible for everything and everyone. These stories are sometimes funny, sometimes frustrating, and sometimes heartbreaking, but always deeply human.
I think the most frustrating piece about that is that we had made multiple calls to Child Protective Services to try to make sure this kid had the help that he needed, because we knew that things were not good where he was at. We just know the signs that we saw. And we failed this little guy. We did not do enough to make sure that he was okay.
This isn't just about school administrators. It's about resilience, trust, and finding common ground in a divided time. It's about seeing schools and the leaders who guide them, not as headlines or stereotypes, but as real people doing extremely challenging and incredibly important work. So whether you're a school leader yourself or a member of the broader public who wants to understand what it really means to run America's schools, I hope you'll join us throughout this inaugural season. Together, we'll lift up the voices of the people who serve America's most vulnerable population, children. Let's remind ourselves why, despite everything, this work matters.